So this is a true story of something that actually happened in the village of Colmar. There was a very, very religious woman. And she wanted to confess. She needed to confess. And she'd done absolutely nothing wrong. I mean, she led a lifestyle that was beyond reproach. Her husband was out of town, a merchant, he was on business. She'd done nothing with him, she'd done nothing with anybody. She had not spoken reproachfully to the servants. But she went to the monastery of the Dominicans to confess. And the monk there looked at her and said he would happily take her confession. And, in fact, he would pay her 30 marks of silver to give her something to confess. She was mortified. This is not what monks do. She left, went to the monastery of the Augustinians, and told what had happened. The monk said, that is not right. I would offer you no less than 60 marks of silver to give you something to confess. And she left. And she went to the monastery. And who's left? There were only Franciscans left in Colmar. There's only 3 monasteries in all of Colmar. And the monk, Franciscan monk, said that he would give her 90 marks of silver to know her as Cain, his wife. She went home in tears. I mean, she had nothing to confess, but she still wanted to, and she had not been able to. And she went home and she cried. That sort of thing had been discussed with the servants. So she told no one. She cried until her husband came home. And at first she would tell him nothing. But he was concerned. He was worried about her. And so she finally told him what had happened with the 3 monks of Colmar. And he said, I have an idea. He said, as it happened, I may have lost a great deal of silver on this trip when I went abroad to earn much silver. I know of a way where we can make some money, and you will not have to know any monks. And so they set forth with his plan, which was that she would have one of the monks come at 8 p.m., and then the second monk come at 10 p.m., and the third monk come at midnight. And they set up in the room a tub of scalding water. And he went and he hid behind a wall. And he said, this is very important. Begin to disrobe. Go ahead exactly as if you were agreeing to their pious terms. And before anything improper happens, just get them into the tub. I'll be taken care of. So the first monk comes, 8 o'clock. He said to her before 8 o'clock, very important thing, always, get the money first. So the first monk comes. He says, are you ready to make me a very happy monk? She says, you have no idea. She begins to disrobe. A banging comes from behind the wall. She says, oh my God! It's my husband! He'll kill us! Quick, hide in the tub. And the monk dumps in the tub of scalding water, where he scalded and drowns. They remove the tub, they heat up the water. Just in time, the second monk comes at 10 o'clock. He says, do you remember the terms of our deal? She says, oh, I do. This is a night. Well, no, you won't remember. No, it will be a night. It will be a night. And she begins to disrobe. And the banging comes behind the wall. And she said, and as he heads for the tub, as he heads for the tub, she takes the pouch from him because you don't want it to get wet, and you always get the money first. And now pouchless. Well, pouch of moneyless. Dumps into the scalding tub. Thank you. And he drowned. Now I got 2 pouches of silver. Pull another monk out of the tub, freshen up the hot water. Third monk shows up. He says, "Are you ready to confess?" She said, "Are you ready to earn this confession? Because you always take the money first." Now she has the money. She begins to undress. She hasn't even touched her buttons when she hears the banging behind the wall. She says, "Oh my God, it's my husband. He'll kill both of us." "Well, he'll kill you." "Quick, hide in the tub." He comes in the tub. He's going. And he's drowning. Her husband comes out from behind the wall. He says, "This takes care of everything. We're rich. We have money, but this takes care of nothing. I have 3 dead monks in my house." Already didn't plan that far. They take the monks, they put them out behind the house, buy them a little time to think, and they see a student walking by the house. Now, there's 2 things that you can assume about a student. 1, they will be poor. 2, likely to be drunk and easily persuadable. "You there!" "Yes, sir." "How would you like to make 4 pfennigs?" At the end of a long night of drinking, 4 pfennigs is fine. He says, "What do I have to do?" He says, "As it happens. As it happens, I have a dead monk here, and I need you to just throw in the river." Student doesn't bat an eye, he's done worse. The husband carries the monk, hands it to the student. The student goes staggering under the weight of the monk down to the river. Probably the Colmar River, might be some other river. I've never actually been to Colmar. So, and he gets there, and he takes the monk. He takes some rocks, he takes some loose stones from building. He weights down the monk, he throws him into the water. Satisfied, he goes back to the house where the husband is now leads the 2nd monk up against the wall of the house. First off, I threw you into the river. Secondly, how did you outrun me back here? Fine. Do this again. And he throws the monk, 2nd monk, up on his shoulder. He staggers down to the river. Weights the monk down with stones. Throws him into the river. Comes back to the house. Oh, he's happy. He's about to collect 4 pfennigs. There is another monk leaning up against the wall of the house. And the husband says, "What kind of trickery is this? I am honestly offering you 4 pfennigs to dispose of 1 monk, and the monk is still here." The student shoots the monk. Really not the husband. Shoots the monk a very dirty glare. And puts him on his shoulder. It takes him back to the river. On his way, there is a monk, a live monk, out for a walk. Student doesn't see him. He walks right by. Monk keeps walking towards the river. Student keeps walking to the river. Student completely unaware of the monk, focused only on the monk at hand. Hands. It takes 2 hands to carry a monk. They're not smart. Going to throw the monk into the river, and he wants to weight him down. There's not a lot left to weight him down. He put a lot of rocks in the monks this night. But he finds a couple of stones, he throws them in, he waits for the monk to see, and he waits, and he waits. It's just about dawn. And the monk doesn't come back. He's like, yes, nailed it. 4 pfennigs. And he turns around, and it's fully light. And for the first time, he sees the live monk out for his walk. You devil! No, sir, you're so confused. I am not a devil. I'm a monk. Like, no, see the tantra. I'm a monk. Oh, no. You are a devil and you've been vexing me all evening. You're like, no, devil, monk, I'm a monk. The student picks up a loose rock, probably the last loose rock in all of Colmar, and he beats the monk to death. Goes down to the river, he knows what you do with a monk at this point. I hope the student never joins a monastery. It will be terrifying. And with one last rock, he sticks it in a pocket, puts the monk into the river and watches him float away. The best he's gonna do. And he goes back and he tells the husband of his entire adventure. He says, "Kill the monk." What an evil, sinful thing to do. You should go to one of the monasteries and confess your sin. And his wife just glares at him. Right, that probably won't work. Well, don't do it again. You kill one monk, you just can't stop. And he pays the student 4 pfennigs. That is now 1 pfennig per monk. Some lessons got learned, and anytime lessons are learned, this is what. First off, the first 3 monks. They learned that if you make the devil bargain, sometimes you pay the devil's price.
Yeah.
And the 4th monk learned that sometimes the innocent do suffer for the misdeeds of the wicked. But it was the student who learned the most valuable lesson of all, which was that you always get the money first.
Or was that like the thing?